Hello, everybody. I am Drunk Farmer, and welcome to NFL Picks. And yes, it's coming down to it. The playoffs are just around the corner. Things are getting interesting as we speak, and there's a lot of things getting interesting. Believe me, there is several things that are interesting right now. Let's just go right to it. Right now, the two top dogs. Right now, the two top dogs in the AFC. Who would have thought Kansas City, who started out 2-4, and everybody thought Kansas City was going down in flames, but no, they risen from the ashes and they have the number one seed in the AFC. Then you got, then it just gets behind Kansas City. The only way I can describe it, it just becomes a cluster. It's a traffic jam behind Kansas City right now. New England at 9-5. You got Cincinnati at 8-6. You got Baltimore at 8-6. You got Tennessee at 9-5, I think. So yeah, it's a cluster behind Kansas City. NFC, easy, top dog right now, and everybody didn't want to see this, but thought, Green Bay may have another bad year, but unfortunately, they're not having a bad year. Actually, they're having a good year at 11-3, and they're on top of the NFC right now. They are the top dog for the playoffs. They do have the number one seed. Then you got Dallas. Tampa Bay, and Arizona, all at 10-4. So you might say the NFC is kind of a cluster too right now. I think all this is going to fan out during the last game of the season. That's what I'm thinking, because that's the only way I can figure this out. And if anybody else can figure it out, last game of the season, there you go. Because it's going to be so hard to explain the wild card. Hurt my little head. It will. So to do the two top dogs, Kansas City, Green Bay. There you go. Now, Sunday, there were some close calls. Green Bay, they had a close call in Baltimore. The Chiefs, they had a close call in Los Angeles. Tampa Bay, winnable game for them. They got beat 9-0 on Sunday night. Tampa Bay's got some injuries too to some of their star players. So basically Tom Brady was playing with second string guys. Monday night, my Chicago Bears, that was like watching a horror movie. If you watch that game, I'm glad I was at work. But if you did watch that game, and if you're a Bears fan, you probably turned it off. I don't blame you. It was that bad, I heard. Ugh, Chicago, we have a problem. And yes, Chicago needs to do something about their problem. Bear fans know what I'm talking about. All right, enough said. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, they did have a Saturday game, and the Patriots, could have been a winnable game for the Patriots, but Indianapolis was ready for them, and Indianapolis beat New England and stopped their winning streak. So how's New England going to react this week? There's the question. But we're going to start with Thursday night. This is NFL Picks. San Francisco at Tennessee. I'm going with the Titans. They are tough at home. The Cleveland Browns on Saturday will visit the Green Bay Packers in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, picking the Packers. Saturday night, Indianapolis Colts, Arizona Cardinals, picking the Cardinals at home. They need to bounce back, and I think they will at home. Sunday, we got the Detroit Lions at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm picking the Falcons over Detroit. Yeah, Detroit won last week. Kind of an upset, but I'm going to pick the Falcons anyway. Ravens, Bengals. This game's kind of interesting, but I'm going to take the Bengals over the Ravens. The Ravens are playing with a backup quarterback right now who looked absolutely pretty good last week against Green Bay. Let's see how he does against Cincinnati, picking the Bengals. Los Angeles Rams visiting the Minnesota Vikings. I'm going to go out on a limb on this one. I'm going to pick the Rams. I know Minnesota plays well at home, but I think the Rams are just a little bit better. Buffalo versus New England at New England, picking the Patriots over Buffalo. Jaguars, Jets. Yes, the Jacksonville Jaguars. They fired Irving Meyer earlier this week, and it's a dumpster fire down there right now. I'm taking the Jets. New York Giants will visit the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles at home. Tampa Bay needs to bounce back. They are going to play Carolina, but I'm picking the Buccaneers, even though they have some injuries, but I think they can still beat Carolina because Carolina still has a lot of problems. Chargers, Texans, this is easy. Chargers, Texans, they have problems also. My Chicago Bears, who looked really ugly against Minnesota on Monday night at home, travel out to Seattle, play Pete Carroll and the Seattle Seahawks, who really they haven't had a great season at all. But I'm picking the Seahawks over the Bears. Pittsburgh, Kansas City in Kansas City. Yeah, picking Kansas City. Kansas City's look good. They're on top at 10-4. And they're at home. And Pittsburgh, now, they just haven't had the great year. Broncos, Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders at home over the Broncos. That should be a good game. Sunday night, the Washington football team against the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. I'm taking Dallas over Washington. And Monday night, could be an interesting game. Has some playoff implications. Well, wild card implications. Miami versus New Orleans in New Orleans. I'm going to take the Saints over the Dolphins. So there you go. There's my picks for Week 16. If you want your picks, put them in the comment box below. Or if you have a comment, hit that comment box below. Write something. I don't care what you write. Also, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. So until then, I will see you next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. It depends what's going on in the NFL. So I will see you when I see you. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of the week and have a great weekend and happy holidays from NFL Picks. So long, everyone.